Hello. It is day 8 of Vlogmas and I have got my Becky's sewing studio number 8 of my advent calendar to open. So I am fresh out of bed. I'm using my sleep mask as a headband and I am still in my pajamas. I have eggs all over, eggs in space. And yeah, it's Sunday morning, so I'm still in my pajamas. And I'm going to open up number 8. Oh, so my sister stayed over last night. She came in very late because she was going to a party. And then we've just had bacon sandwiches and put the worlds to rights a little bit downstairs. And then she has taken my mum to go and see my daughter's new house so that they can have a nosy round. And then my sister is going to take my mum back to her house, so my mum's gonna go, basically it's my sister's turn to have my mum for a few days, and then we'll kind of meet up later in the week. So yeah, so I thought I'd just open these. I have got some lovely little buttons, handmade with love, and I have 6 little buttons. Aren't they gorgeous? Gonna put those away. They are very nice and they are very handy. I'll pop them in the drawer there. So yeah, so today is Sunday. I was going to open this with you. And yeah, I've got my Bias Tape Appreciation Society. So if you haven't got yours and you don't want to see it, then please look away now. But I wanted to open this because I'm doing a tutorial today. And in the tutorial I will need a label, so I thought if this was a good label then I could use this. Oh my goodness, look at this bias tape. It's all Christmas. Oh, I think I've got the perfect thing for this, but it's a bit of a secret squirrel. How amazing is that? That's lovely. And then the labels are and it says cute as a button, and then it's got a little safety pin. So that is lovely. So yes, so I'm gonna literally pop off and have a shower. I'm all set up for my tutorial behind me, and then I'm going to come back and do the tutorial. And today's tutorial is Tea-riffic. So have any of you been watching the lovely Angela from the Devon Thread Tales? Obviously yes, because her Vlogmas has been amazing. Oh, that red dress that she wore for the party, oh, fabulous. Anywho, when we got together for the sewing retreat, because I know how much she loves tea, we share that love of tea. In fact, we have quite a lot of things in common. It was nice to find that out. We share a love of tea, and yeah, so I bought her a tea advent calendar. Now, a lot of people have been asking Angela where it's from. So it's from a shop called Saustrian Green. I'll put a link to it down below. So if you want to order it. Now, if you buy it in the shop, it's £5. If you buy it online, it's £6.50, I believe. But yeah, so it's an advent calendar of teas. So you have a different tea every day. Just so you know, I wouldn't recommend the mango and pineapple. Sorry, Angela. But all of the others seem fine. And then, yeah, so with that in mind, I sent her a little tea coaster, a kind of cup coaster to go with it. So I thought, wouldn't it be nice to do a tutorial to show you how to make the coasters? So here is a very simplified version of the coaster. So you've basically got a teacup applique on felt and then a little label in there. And then, as you can see, it's just plain on the back. So I'm going to show you how to make one of these. If that interests you, then stay tuned. So, still in my pajamas, because, you know, it's Sunday. But I'm going to take you through how I make my coasters, my applique tea coasters. So the thing that you need is some of this stuff, which is Heat and Bond. Now you can get different branded ones. I like this one. This is called Heat, H-E-A-T-N, Bond, B-O-N-D, Lite. And I get it in a big roll because I use a lot of it, and I find that of all of the kind of applique adhesive papers that you can buy, that one is the one that I prefer. The other thing that you will need is you'll need some kind of ruler. This is my face wipe ruler, which is 4.5 by 4.5. It's also my coaster ruler, which is 4.5 by 4.5. So I make my coasters at 4.5 by 4.5. You can, of course, make them bigger or smaller. And if you don't want to use them as coasters, if you want to make, thank you to the lovely Catherine last night who suggested to make like a one bigger for a teapot, you can just make a bigger square. So the felt that I use this felt. I use 1mm and 3mm felts, and I tend to mix them up. So I tend to use either 1 or 3 at the top and then 1 or 3, so that they're 4mm in total when we put them together. Now this, I will put the details down below. It's a Facebook group that sell the felt, and I've put all of the details below on how you can buy it. And you literally just go onto the Facebook group, you ask them, you know, can I have a meter of 3mm felt, and then they'll send you the link to the page that you need to choose your colours. Now I actually need to go and do some shopping because I have got this lovely red, which is gorgeous, and I like the grey one, and I've also got this beige one, and I used to have a lovely blue and a lovely green, and I've completely run out of those, so those are the only colours that I've got left. Oh, tell a lie, I've got white as well, but I decided that white's not really great for a coaster because I don't know about you, but if you ever spilt tea on something white or coffee, you know, it's never quite the same again. So that's what you need. And then you also need some scraps, some lovely scraps of fabric. These were gifted to me by the lovely Adam of Adam Sews, and these are all of Tudor Pink scraps that he very kindly gifted to me. Now obviously the scraps for the teacup need to be approximately 4.5 by 4.5, so that's pretty perfect. You also need a template. So I have got this teacup template that I just drew. And I cut it out of some card. I have seen a lot of teacup templates online. So if you go onto Google and just type printable teacup templates, you'll get hit with a load of them. So if you're not confident in drawing your own, I may try and see if I can draw around it and scan it into my computer. And if I have time, it will end up on my website. I'll put my website down below, and I will have it as a template for you to download. But that might end up being in a couple of days' time, because today is Sunday and it is family day in a minute. My kids are coming over for their roast dinner, so we will see. So basically you'll end up with something like that. So you want to make sure that it's a nice size for your coaster. And then what we'll do is we'll get our template. As I said, it's best to do it onto card, and what you do is you draw on your Heat and Bond paper, and remembering whichever way round you draw it, it will be the other way round on your fabric. So if you want it to be that way round, you need to draw it that way round. Does that make sense? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly now draw on my Heat and Bond paper. I'm going to do some going that way and some going that way. Okay, so I have used my candy cane pencil to draw lots and lots of mugs or cups on my Heat and Bond paper. And then what you want to do is you want to cut around but you don't want to cut on the lines. You just want to cut around, leaving a little bit of a gap all the way around your cup. So just rough cut around like that. I'm going to cut a few, so I've got a few options, and I've got a few going different ways round, because I'm going to then decide which scraps to use, which one I think looks nicest on my cup. So there we have it. Put that down there. That's a mess for later. So as you can see on this one, I just tried to put the interest kind of in the center. So, and I've got a few here that I've cut out earlier from the scraps. And now here's a little test for you. Anyone that's been watching this person's Vlogmas, she is she's one of the vloggers that I've been watching for the longest time, and but she recently's had a little break and come back again. But as soon as I cut this one, it made me think of her. So she likes tea too, but there you go. Any guesses? And then, yeah, and then obviously we've got this one and I've got this one. So you can really go to town. And then once you have decided on which one you want, I will show which fabric you want. I'll show you how to adhere that to your fabric. Now, if you think, Sam, this is great, I haven't got time to find a cup, template or anything like that. If you've just got, I actually just found this. So literally it's just a square. It's a 2x2 square that I found in my scrap pile. You can literally just pop a little bit of heat on there and you can have it as simple as that. And then so as I'm going to direct you later, and Bob's your uncle, you've got a really, really easy coaster. So you don't have to do it. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can make it your own. So I've decided that I'm going to make my son, Baby Sparkles, a tea coaster for his bedroom, so he doesn't leave his teacup on the nice furniture. And he loves a hedgehog, so this is perfect for him. So what I'm going to do is, remembering that it's going to be the other way up. So if you put, basically, you're going to put the sticky side of the fabric onto the wrong side of the sticky side of the heat and bond onto the wrong side of the fabric. So you need to really think about which way you're going to have looking up at you. Yeah, you're actually going to have the glue side of it looking up at you. So you need to be, when you're placing it, you need to think really carefully about where you're going to place it. So once you know where you want to place it, you're going to pop it on the wrong side, and then you're going to apply with a little bit of heat, and then you're going to let it cool down completely. And then when it's cool, and this is why I've done some, when it's cool like this, you can literally just tear the paper off. It should come off really easily once it's cool. It won't come off this easily if it's warm. And then you've got like a fabric sticker to pop onto your felt. So you choose what colour felt that you want. You position it exactly where you want it. And then, because you're now pressing it onto the felt, I would put a little piece of a pressing cloth or a piece of cotton over the top before you put your iron on. And that sticks it in place. And then that's it, you've appliqued it on. And then all we need to do is go and sew. So I'm really happy with the positioning of my hedgehog, which is looking rather lovely. And so now we want this effect, this kind of stitch effect all the way around. So what we're going to do is, I've got my variegated threads because I thought that they go quite nicely. Can you see how well they match? And I've got some variegated thread in my bobbin, but I could, if I wanted to, put grey thread in my bobbin. And then I'm going to set my machine up, so pardon me. And the stitch that I'm going to use, so if you have got a Janome 5060 QDC like mine, you need to set it to stitch number 6, which is the zigzag, and then you need it to be in needle position 3, and the zigzag stitch length, you need it to be as close together as you can. So you need it wide but close together. So I'm going to go for 0.5 or 4 shall I go for today, Sam? I'm going to go for 0.4. So it's stitch setting 6, stitch position 3, and stitch length 0.4. So we're going for a really close together but wide zigzag. So I am going to show you my stitching, but I'm just going to let you know how I'm going to line up my stitches. So here is my A foot, and as you can see on my A foot, I have got a centre line, and it's on mine, it's like a little V shape. So as long as you keep that V shape on the edge of your design, then your satin stitch will be bang on the middle all the way round. Okay, so that's how I line it up, because obviously there's no seam allowance, there's no guide. You just have to kind of keep it as close to the middle as you can, and then my friend, you just sew. Hello my friends, so there you have it. And I have to say, I am so, look at the match of that thread. I mean, it's almost like I did that on purpose. It's a brilliant. So I'm just going to grab my snips and I'm going to snip off my loose threads at the front and the back. In fact, I've got a scissor function on mine, so they're not very long. So there you go. And so now what we need to do is, if we wanted to, we could add a little tag here that said tea or something like that. You could put a little sticker on the front. You could put a little label in the side. So you could really go to town. So how I've decided to embellish mine is just to put this little label, "It's a good day to have a good day," on it, which I think looks quite nice. And then I'm going to pop another. So if you use the 3mm felt for this bit, then you're going to put some 1mm felt on the bottom, and vice versa. And then I'm just going to put it on the bottom, and I'm just going to use a long stitch and stitch all the way around. So I've just secured it with a couple of, I've put the other piece on the back, secured it with a couple of sewing clips, and then I'm going to set my machine up again for a straight stitch and a stitch length of 3.5, a nice long stitch like a top stitching stitch. And then I'm just going to pop it under my machine. Now you will find that this is a few layers to go through. Now my machine doesn't seem to have too many problems going through this many layers. You may want to use a tool. There is 2 tools that I like to use. I like to use this, which is a sewer's extra finger, and that just kind of helps push it along, or I like to use my trusty unicorn tweezers. So whatever you like to use, or a sewing awl, you know, there's no wrong answer, just whatever works for you. As I said, that's what works for me. And then I'm just going to sew nice and close to the edge, consistent if you can, but I'm just using the cup as my guide. And in honest, I'm just eyeballing it. And I'm just going through those satin stitches at the bottom, which is quite... And I'm just going to go back actually on that one because I've gone a bit close to the edge. So I'm just going to go back one, stitch, there we go. And I do that manually so I can be accurate. And then back round the other side. Easy as pie. And because I've used variegated thread, I have got the same colours in the same place, but because it matches so well, I don't think it really matters. What do you think? I don't think it matters. There you go. So there is a lovely coaster, and on the back of the coaster, the only thing that you've got is, oh, I have got to trim it there, but you've just literally got a line of stitches all the way around. So there you go. It's a good day to have a good day. I'm going to go and give this to Baby Sparkles. See what he thinks. Hiya, Baby Sparkles. How are you?
I'm okay.
I made you a present.
Thank you.
Do you like it?
I do. It's your coaster.
It is. Look, it's got...
A purple hedgehog on it.
It has got... Oh, you said it right.
You mean Old Judge?
Purple or Judge.
But that's not Old Judge. Old
No.
Judge is specifically the deformed, hairy Old Judge, whereas that's a very nice hedgehog.
Oh.
I think my eyes are going up because it took me a while.
To find the hedgehog.
Yeah.
The little saying says it's a good day to have a good day.
What a lovely day. What's that from?
I don't know.
You gotta do practice.
I've got to practice for my quiz.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the little hint. Bye.